My name is Hon Rachel. My show is Life After Fame, where I'm going to be bringing celebrities, politicians, among others, as you know, Life After Fame. So this project is going to be focused on celebrities and politicians after their reign, after their fame, after being known in the country. What happens next? What happens after? Which kind of life are they living currently? The show is going to be broadcasted on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much. What is your political background?
You know, asking me questions which may require days to answer.
So far the research I've made, people say that actually you're the most role model for the youth who are coming up to, try politics. People really admire you because of your sense of humor, your reasoning. So when you tell me that these questions it might be true.
I am, as you know, 75 years old. So which means I was born in the 40s. And when young people ask me, how did you get into politics? My answer is, it was a historical accident. Why do I say that? Because this, do you hear me? Because, you see, at the time when I was born, agitation for independence had started in Africa. We were still under colonial control. And indeed we got independence when I was a young man going to school, primary school. So we got independence when I was there. I could have been like you. We were born without independence. So that's why I'm saying it was an experience. So my first taste of politics was in the agitation for independence in the 1950s. I was still a young boy, but reasonably conscious of what was going on. I was born in, generally speaking, a political family. My father was a politically conscious man. He had been in the church. By the time I was born, he had retired from church service. And he was doing business. So he was widely troubled and he knew what was going on. So he would come to Uganda. We were coming from Gezi, Kabale area. So we come to Uganda. At that time, there was political agitation going on in Uganda. In the 40s, then in the early 50s, with the SARS's, later on DP was formed in 1953. So agitation for independence picked up. My brothers, who are much older than me, were actually colonial. They were working in the colonial government. And they were educated to reasonable level in those days. And they formed part of the movement for independence. So I was born in a political family, grew up in a political family. So when we got independence in 1962, I was in secondary school. We were happy. We were all happy that we became independent. But as we grew older and studied what was going on, we looked at what was going on in Uganda. We read about what was happening elsewhere in the world. We realized that we were not making the kind of progress we needed to make. The expectations of independence that we all had, the hopes that we had about change, were not happening. So, therefore, we started as young youth, really a movement to advocate for change, for accelerated development, so that we could catch up with the rest of the world. We realized our society was backward. There were many things that we lacked here. Our standard of living was extremely low. So we were not patient with the speed at which the country was moving immediately after independence. Then, shortly after independence, we began to experience instability in our politics. If you are students of history, at independence, we had the first government was a coalition between UPC, led by Bote, and the Kabaka Yeka, led by King Tesa, two. Edward Mutesa. But this didn't last long, and the constitution was overthrown, and people were arrested, and instability set into our society. At this time, we were young adults, students in secondary schools or at university, and we began to oppose what was happening in the country. By then, I was not only politically conscious, because I had grown up in the political environment in the family, but I had become a student leader. In fact, when I was in S1, the leader of Uganda at the time, Obote, he had become president now. He had introduced something for students, which was a good thing, called the National Union of Students of Uganda, NUSU. And the idea was to inculcate democratic practice in the minds of young by practicing democracy, by electing our leaders as students. And I was elected the president of NUSU when I was in senior one, which was unprecedented. Because the one I followed, the one I succeeded, was actually in senior 4. So I'm saying that to show you how I was actively involved in politics at a very early age. Then the rest maybe, the rest. We had instability. Military Obote was overthrown. Military coup, Idi Amin. We took up arms to fight Idi Amin. We fought Idi Amin. So, in terms of background, that's okay.
what I know, like you said, the restaurant of bread. What I'm sure about is that you are once employing yourself and so my question is, what was the most challenging decision you had ever made during the period of being employment, and how did you approach it?
Mm. Before I became Prime Minister, I was a long time political actor in Uganda. Why? Because I was involved in the war against the Amin, then after the Amin against the Britain. And when we took power in 1986, I took up various leadership roles, including minister and things like that. So there were many things I did. But I think my primary responsibility, the things I did most were as a member of parliament. Because when you're a member of parliament, you represent people. People have put confidence in you, you are their leader. You can be a minister without being a representative of the people. Because you can be. You never know tomorrow, they will announce that you're a minister of youth or something like that. Even when you are not contested for office. But in my case, I had always been I'm talking about now when we are in government. So my primary focus as a member of parliament, as a leader generally, even when we were in the struggle and we were not in government, was to contribute towards social economic development of our society. You remember I told you we realized we were backward, so we needed to change society. We needed what we call transformation. We needed to bring about that big change. And our philosophy, and which I followed very closely, was to adopt a holistic approach, to look at all the conditions that needed to be in place for the change we desired to happen. You get my point? So what were these? This is simply put. These were things like healthcare, so that our people are healthy and are able to be productive. Education, so that people have knowledge and skills that they would apply to bring about change. So, in their individual capacities, in their homes, and collectively as a society. So education, and then to have the necessary infrastructural conditions that will enable advancement of society, like roads, like electricity, like things like that. So that if you are active, productive person, and you're able to use your hands or your head to produce something, you will produce for a market. And that market is accessible to you because you have goods. Even production is possible because you have power. You don't use basic rudimentary things. most importantly, the question of governance, giving people the freedom to be able to come out and show their potential. That means governance issues, democracy, and people having the say in how they are governed, things of that kind. So that was my thrust as an individual, but also collectively as a movement. We share this among ourselves as leaders. So in the various jobs I did, a lot of it was concentrated on security. I was head of intelligence, I was Minister of Defense, Minister of Security, all those. So, the aim was essentially to achieve those overall objectives. And as we moved along, we made a lot of progress. Uganda has changed tremendously since the Arab war. But we were not moving at the pace we thought we needed to cause rapid change, rapid transformation. So, one of the things that we thought in governments, not only me, I thought, also collectively we thought, was poor service delivery. In all those things I've talked about, we put laws, we put policies in place to enhance the achievement of those objectives, but we did not achieve it, or as quickly as we desired. So what was the problem? The problem was that the structure of government, the capacity of the people enrolled with that responsibility to perform was either poor or totally lacking. So when I became Prime Minister, my primary aim was to change that. Okay? And that was the biggest challenge I faced, I think. So how did I do it? Mainly set performance standards. The whole idea was identify the things that need to be done, plan out program of action, give out tasks, give people time frames to achieve those tasks, and have a mechanism of checking that they are being done or not being done, so that you can take the necessary steps to improve. So I was not Prime Minister for a long time. So in the short time I was there, I was very pushing those. We were beginning to see semblance of change, but I left.
Thank you very much, sir. So this is the other question. Is it true that by now you are not in any political position?
Not true. But it also depends on what political position means. I am not MP. I am not in government as a minister. As you know. But first and foremost, I am still a political actor. I'm a political actor. I don't hold an elective office because I've not run for elections. But I'm in the movement, the NRM, as a historical member. You know, by the constitution of Hon Amama, a member for life.
Once it's come, always it's come.
Pardon?
They say in the thing, once it's come,
Yes.
always it's come. So once a member, you're always a member.
No, there are members who leave. Like basically, the member elect is not the others. But for me, I'm staying in it deliberately, consciously. But also by constitution, I'm a member. Nobody can just wish me away. If I were to be thrown out of an area, there are steps that would have to be taken to do it. Nobody has done it. So I'm in NRM. So I'm a member of the National Conference of NRM. So that's a political office. But it's not an elective office, as I said, because for the last of this now 8 years, I'm not participating in elections as a candidate seeking elective office. And I am also a special presidential board. It is debatable whether this is a political office or not, but it is a government, so that means it associates me with the government. And I do other things, which you could say are also maybe political, but outside the government. How many more questions?
6 more.
6?
Yeah, 3.
I hope they are short. Okay, I'll give short answers.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. So the other question is, you say you belong to any elective office. Oh, right? So my question is, do you plan to run for any elective office in time?
Not now. But what I've told you is that from the little I told you about my political background, I committed myself to the service of my community until I died. I never did that. So should there be need for me to come out for instance, through an election in order to achieve that purpose, of course I can do it. But at the moment, I don't plan anything.
How do you feel about the aspect of politics?
I'm not looking at politics. From what I said, I'm fully in politics. Politics is the management of public issues, public affairs.
But I think people don't know that because they think being in politics is being on TV, being in parliament, something like that. So people don't feel that way.
No, that's what I'm. You may be the first ones I'm talking to in 8 years.
That's a chance.
Okay. So, no, I've not been active in that. I am happy, actually, you know, from 1970 up to the time when I left government, I've not had any public holiday. I've not had leave, I've not had any public holiday. I was working, I think on average, like 18 hours a day. Yeah. So this is a welcome change where I can go to my farm and walk around and then come home after 6 or so hours. I'm still engaged in many community things, but it's not the same. It's quite a bit of change. Don't you think I look a little more fresh?
Yeah, definitely you do.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. So the second last question is, What is your view on Uganda politics? Is it perfect or it needs some maybe?
I am not sure that there can be a thing like perfect politics. I don't know what to mean. You see, debate in society, or even at individual level, will never stop. I think for any society to be considered successful, it must be the measurement of how society has changed with the times. You must keep up with the times. But in the process, there will arise debate, there will arise disagreement. All those are healthy. There's no problem with it. Perfection, I don't know what perfection would mean. If it is unanimity or harmony in society in terms of political views or how to do things. I don't think that can happen. And it's not this. As long as we are moving, so that's what democracy is about. Many ideas come out, and democracy means that people then have the right to choose what to do. The freedom of choice. They may be wrong, according to you, and in fact they may be wrong. But let them exercise their right, even to be wrong. It's a choice. And then along the way, people will see that the direction we're taking is maybe not the best, and will be changed. So, perfect society, not so sure. But I think generally we are making progress. We still have challenges in politics. Many of these challenges are grounded in what I said before, that for democracy to thrive, for example, you need people to be educated, to be aware of their rights, to be conscious of their interests. If you find a society where people are sectarian, you stand on a platform of religion. Me, I am a Muslim. Please, my fellow Muslims support me because I'm a Muslim. Me, I am a Christian. Support me because I'm a Christian. Me, I'm a Chiga. You're a Chiga. Please rally behind me. Then you know there is something lacking. Because it is absolutely nonsensical. What confronts us does not have tribal or religious boundaries. Do not have a situation, for example, where there is a malaria outbreak and the malaria outbreak attacks Muslims. Does it happen? Or if a bridge collapses, a Michigan will be as much affected as a Kalimantan. So there are these common obvious interests that people need to be conscious about, that should guide their thinking, their actions collectively as a society. The moment you see that kind of sectarianism taking root in society, you know that society is power. And that's what we have tried as a movement to change. It's not easy to change, it's not something you do overnight, but it is a slow process, mainly through having promoted universal education for all, so that we then raise the level of awareness by all of their interest. Then they act according to their best interest rather than other considerations.
What advice do you give young politicians, especially the youth that are just coming up to become members of government? Again, the answer is what I told you before.
And as they say, every generation has a mission. That generation must be able to identify that mission and set out to accomplish its mission. Our time, our generation, the generation before us, it was fighting imperialism, colonialism. We were born in colonial time, but grew up in the early stages of independence. I told you what our mission was, to bring about the transformation. And that's what the struggle was all about, including taking up arms, fighting for change. So the question to the new generation is, have we identified your mission? Don't be mad in what, for instance, you are fighting for my generation. No. Take a step ahead, and you need to think. Please apply your minds to issues, do proper analysis, get insights from those who are knowledgeable, then you work out what you need as a generation and what needs to be done to achieve that objective. I think there's something wrong with our politics at the moment. Please don't aspire to be a member of parliament. Aspire to do something, and you can do it either as MP or as a professional in your field, or leadership by example. Most people who have transformed society have not necessarily been political actors in the political scene. No. It's people who have done things that others learn from. Others would wish to emulate. I imagine my wife and I celebrated 50 years of marriage this year. So we put up a show. Here we are, been married for 50 years. There's nothing political. I'm not agitating to be in parliament, but I hope someone can pick one or two things. So leadership need not be through holding elective political offices. And in Uganda today, I think some have noble objectives, but there are quite many who take it as a career. They hear that in parliament they are very highly paid. So even when you trained as a teacher, you are training as a teacher. You say, no, I will not teach students. I want to be in parliament because there is higher pay. That's a good. Because society will change if the mindset of people is changed. And the greatest and onerous responsibility to achieve that is through people like you. So actually we will achieve transformation through what you do in school than if you're in parliament. So, but these are issues we can discuss. I happen to have a lot of very strong views on a number of things. So next time, if you want my full views, let's book a week. Okay? Great. So thank you very much. It's been a